Thanks for tuning in, guys. We are talking about Colin Kaepernick and how the BLM is possibly helping him have a future in the NFL after a very long 4 years for this young man.
Yes, 4 years of not playing the game of football. And, we're all for every kind of equalness there is in the entire world. I think...
Equality, yes, all over.
Absolutely. Now, before you go judging and being crazy and people thinking the worst of what we're about to talk about...
Listen to the points.
Right. There's no kind of, we're not bashing the man for trying to come back and do that. If he wants to be in the NFL, sure. Does he deserve a chance is the question.
Right.
Does he deserve a chance because he was blackballed at the beginning? Yeah, he was blackballed in the NFL for kneeling. And he kneeled, but there's two sides to that. There's one side going... half of the people going, I don't like that he kneeled during the national anthem, and I don't like that anybody does because it disrespects the American flag and the United States and what it stands for and the people who fought for it, so you could have that right to do it. Now you got the other half that says, no, it's not for that. It's for police brutality against, black people or Asian or anybody, mostly black. We all know how the world is, especially in the U.S., the brutality against African Americans. It's bullshit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a stereotype. So bringing all that in, it's like you got to look at it and just be like, does he honest to God, deserve a shot because of all this Black Lives Matter movements, or based on his skill set, or both? So I guess my question to you, T-Ball, is should Colin Kaepernick get another shot at the NFL?
Well, Mr. Bradley, let me start off by saying that Colin Kaepernick, he opted out of his own contract.
Yes. Something people might not know.
He walked away from the game of football. Then he decided to go on and talk shit about the NFL and dig his own hole and make his own bed, but didn't want to lie in it. Now, with that being said, Colin Kaepernick has only had 2 seasons in his whole career where he had 3,000 yards.
And both those seasons he started all 16 games.
Yes. One of them he went 8-8. One of them he went 12-4, where they lost the Super Bowl. Now, during that span, the 49ers were already a good ball club.
Yeah.
When he came in at week 10, 11, 12, whatever it was for Alex Smith and started making his way up the ladder.
11 or 12.
49ers were already a phenomenal football club. Kaepernick just kind of kept the momentum going.
And he's better than the quarterback they had.
And then he progressively decreased. So if you look at the people that was on his team, you have Kaepernick at quarterback, Frank Gore, Carlos Hyde at running back, 1-2 punch right there, tight end Vernon Davis. You got 2
Michael
extremely
Crabtree,
good wide
Anquan
receivers.
Bolden.
Yeah, two very
in their
good
primes with great hands.
And a phenomenal defense. There's 9 Pro Bowlers, I think, in that 2012 season. So I think Kaepernick gets a lot of credit for, I guess, maintaining what that team was already accomplishing.
Right, they were 12-4.
Granted, yes. Yeah, you had some good yards. You did well. You're a little heavy on the, interception side of the ball. But overall, your overall record wasn't that good.
28-30.
You're...
As a starter, 28-30.
You progressively declined very quickly. And then you decided to create this platform, which is a very righteous platform, but you decided to use your platform at a time that just was not only didn't make sense, but had nothing to do with what you were trying to accomplish. So I felt like if you would have got another way about it, maybe this whole backlash thing wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have got blackballed. But let's go back. This man hasn't played football in 4 years, like we said. 4 years. That's 4 years of not running through progressions, play calling,
getting
signs. Hit. And that's going to be the big one, getting hit. You haven't been hit in 4 years. You can run through drills and people can come out and watch you
training camp
and throw deep balls, with all day in the pocket, running through, warm-ups, and which you made almost impossible to get done when you were begging people to come take a look at you anyways. It's another thing to do it live and actually do it quick because, as soon as the ball's hiked, it's 1, 2, 3, and the play's usually over.
Or a second and a half.
Or the ball's in the air.
Right.
So, I mean, he hasn't had a lot of experience in that time. And what you got to look at is what's going to happen, because it seems like this Black Lives Movement is actually helping him all of a sudden now get back into the league. Because in the beginning, everybody was like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, we understand, what you're trying to do, but you're doing it at the wrong time.
Right.
And either people didn't agree with it or they just didn't speak about it because they didn't want to be segregated based off how they feel. Which is funny is Colin Kapernick always said, stand up for what you believe in no matter the cost, unless your name is Drew Brees.
Yeah.
So that's how it was when it first all happened. And now that George Floyd has died, now you got Roger Goodell, who's the biggest crook in football history. They need a new commissioner. Is now all of a sudden saying, yeah, let Colin Kaepernick get another shot. And it's like, why did it take all the way up to George Floyd to die? What about the 15 to 20 other young black men whose lives were taken by police brutality?
That we just know of.
Yeah, I mean, why did it take that long? If this was a righteous cause and what he's doing is the right time and people really don't mind it, why are you just now speaking up?
Well, and Roger Goodell is so crooked because he's part of the movement of the whole blackballing. He could have easily spoke to these teams and went, one of you is going to sign this guy. We're not going to do this to this guy. Right. That's not right. That's not cool. We get what he did. We get that this may offend half of you, like what I was talking about earlier, and the other half, you're for him kneeling during this time. And before we go any further, let's just point the fact out that my boy here, my colleague here, is former military. So this isn't just some crazy, biased opinion like, oh, you're a piece of crap for kneeling. I'm just saying, had to throw that in there so they would understand your side of it.
Yeah.
But it's just nobody wants to do that because if he just, in my eyes, if he just done it at any different time, like you were saying, yeah.
Right. There's a lot of different ways you could have went about it.
It'd been totally fine because...
And I understand your stand on freedom of speech and everything like that. I should be able to do whatever I want. But sports is not only entertainment, but this is a business. So I guess what we're just saying in the end is this BLM, honestly, the only reason why Kaepernick's getting another shot and after 4 long years is, in the end, if he does make it back into the league, is that going to be, rewardful for him and everybody else who's been a part of this movement? Because what happens if he flops? So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of big questions here. Is he worth bringing back into the league? Can we handle the media? Is he actually going to play? Is he going to make it? If he does, is he going to be successful? And I just honestly think at the end of the day, it's just not worth the risk. And after 4 long years of being off, I just don't, in my mind, from a business standpoint, I just don't think it's, in considering the numbers we just mentioned off, I mean, it doesn't warrant, in my mind, bringing him back and taking that risk.
No. I think he still has a good enough skill set to at least be a backup somewhere because he hasn't played in 4 years. And keep that in mind because that's the reality here, guys. Someone who hasn't played in the NFL in 4 years, like the NFL game, the speed, the talent, the hard hits, you're talking about some crazy aspects of football versus just training and going and doing some training camps and training with some teammates of yours or friends of yours and at stadiums or backyards, what have you.
Yeah, I know we talked about it before, and I said he should just go to the CFL, get a warm-up there, and then try his luck in the NFL. But I feel like when he does come back, he's going to be on a pretty crappy team. So there might be this excuse for him in the end. It's like, oh, well, look at the team he played on.
Yeah, didn't have a good team, good supporting cast. But
and is he going to be willing to play for such a crappy team?
I think one more thing that you have to look at that I'm going to say is the fact that he knew all this stuff was going to get
the
him.
consequences.
Probably, yeah, he knew the consequences. He knew it was the backlash, you know, the blackballing, if you will. It's half his fault if you think about it, because he knew what he was getting himself into. But at the same time, you have your freedom of speech and religion and all that good amendment to where you can kneel during any point in time of anything you ever want to, because it's part of your given right.
Yeah.
But he knew that this was going to get him kicked out of the league and have people not like him, because, like I said, there's half those people that doesn't like it. There's half people that think it's okay he's doing it, and that's fine, because that's, again,
there's always going to be a 50-50 to both sides to something.
It screws you up and it screws you over, and that's what we're here at. At the end of the day, he knew it was going to happen. He knew what it would take and what it would cost. If you think about it, it would cost you
almost
your job.
costed his career.
Because I can't just go out here anytime that something doesn't sit right with me, or that I think isn't fair or equal, because there's lots of times in my life I bit my tongue and I said, fuck it, I can't change this outcome because I know I'll lose this battle, because it's a way bigger battle than I can even protest myself. So I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to bite my tongue. And it's just one of those things you kind of have to. Just kind of like, you know, being gay in the NFL. Look how many guys came out. You know, they were never going to tell you. So
it was such a big deal.
It's one of those things you gotta just sit back and just, you gotta bite your tongue. But I get it. I get why he did it, and I'm with him for it. But I'm also not completely with it, if that makes any sense. I'm 50-50 too.
Right.
I'm torn, because it got you kicked out of the league, and that's the fact of the matter. You haven't played in 4 years. If I'm a coach, I don't care who you are, Dan Marino, Brett Favre, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, you didn't play for 4 years, and the things you did, you're probably not going to make it back to the NFL. And even if you do, you're not going to be a starter anymore. I don't think you're good enough to be a starter.
1 year off is hard enough.
Right. 4 years is tremendously tough. So I say he can still have a success in football somewhere. I just don't think it's a starting quarterback. And I don't think the Black Lives Matter movement is going to help him out enough to be able to bring him back. And it's great what they're doing, you know, and the equality and everything like that, because I think the world should be fair. But this isn't something Colin Kapernick can just come back and just be good at. Nobody can. I'm sorry. You're not a starting quarterback in my eyes. If I'm a
NFL's
coach,
not an easy place to play.
Absolutely not. So I say no. I say he could be a like I said, a backup, and I got to watch him in preseason if we get a preseason this year. At least let him play half a game in each preseason game. I'll make my determination there, and maybe he does make it to the NFL. Maybe he is a starting quarterback for some crazy one spot or two, or maybe he's a backup, and who knows what happens. But I just don't think it's going to be good. And I don't think anybody's gonna sign him because of what he's done in the past. And
I think the reason he hasn't been signed yet is because of the same aspects we're looking at right now. Like he's taken a lot of time off. He only had really two good successful years, and is it worth the risk? So I don't know. Tell us what you guys think. Do you think Kaepernick should be able to play in the NFL again? Is the Black Lives Movement basically the reason why he's being able to even be considered, and why all of a sudden is Roger Goodell and everybody speaking up that it's all of a sudden they're okay with it now? Tell us what you think. But most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, let us know anything you want to talk about. I'm T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us on a touchy subject on about if Colin Kaepernick should get his chance. I say no.
No.
Okay, well, that's how we're ending it. And good luck to the guy. I hope he, has success somewhere. But I just don't think it's in NFL anymore. And that's how it goes sometimes in life. And, well, that's it. Peace out.